The world's most impenetrable frozen barrier is vanishing. What was once a solid white shield at the top of the planet is cracking, thinning, and retreating faster than anyone expected. And in the space it leaves behind, something far more dangerous is taking shape. This is not just melting ice. This is the birth of a new strategic battlefield, one that could redefine global power in ways we have not seen since the Cold War. For centuries, the Arctic was nature's ultimate defense system. Empires rose and fell below it. Wars were fought across continents, but the far north remained largely untouched. Too cold, too remote, too unforgiving. The ice made sure of that. But now, as global temperatures rise, the Arctic is warming nearly 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. Each summer, the ice retreats farther. Each year, routes that were once impossible become briefly navigable. And with every passing season, the idea of the Arctic as a frozen dead end is disappearing. What is emerging instead is a shortcut that could redraw the map of global commerce. Ships traveling between Asia and Europe no longer have to snake their way through the Suez Canal or around the Cape of Good Hope. In the Arctic, distances shrink dramatically. Time is saved. Fuel costs drop. For global shipping giants, this is not a curiosity. It is a potential revolution. Forget the Suez Canal. The future of global trade may be moving through the North Pole. But this new path comes with a deadly price. These waters are still brutal. Storms appear without warning. Ice can shift and trap vessels in hours. There is little infrastructure, almost no emergency response capacity, and minimal search and rescue coverage. Every voyage is a high-risk calculation. And yet, despite the danger, ships are coming. Because the rewards are simply too great to ignore. Where commerce goes, power follows. And nowhere is that more evident than in how nations are reacting to the Arctic thaw. What was once treated as a shared, distant region is now being claimed, guarded, and militarized. Deep water ports are expanding. Icebreakers are being commissioned. Airstrips, radar systems, and missile defenses are quietly returning to places abandoned decades ago. This is not happening by accident. It is happening by design. Russia has moved the fastest and the furthest. It treats the Arctic not as an emerging opportunity, but as sovereign territory critical to its national survival. Moscow has rebuilt old Soviet air bases, deployed advanced air defense systems, and invested heavily in nuclear-powered icebreakers that give it unmatched access to frozen waters. The Northern Sea Route, which hugs Russia's Arctic coastline, is no longer just a shipping lane. It is a strategic artery, one the Kremlin believes it has the right and the power to control. Other nations are not standing still. NATO has increased Arctic exercises, strengthened coordination among northern members, and begun rethinking its entire defense posture for the high north. The logic is simple and unsettling. Whoever controls the Arctic controls a new corridor between North America and Eurasia. Submarines can move more freely. Early warning systems become more valuable. The North, once a buffer, is becoming a bridge, and bridges are always contested. Even countries without Arctic coastlines are paying close attention. China has described itself as a near-Arctic state, a phrase that raised eyebrows across the world. Beijing sees the region not just as a shipping shortcut, but as part of a broader strategy to secure resources, diversify trade routes, and reduce dependence on choke points controlled by others. In a world of rising geopolitical tension, redundancy is power. What makes this moment especially dangerous is how quiet it is. There are no daily headlines about Arctic standoffs. No dramatic naval confrontations broadcast live. Instead, the buildup is slow, technical, and deliberate. Surveillance systems are expanding under the ice. Submarine patrol patterns are shifting northward. Military units are being trained specifically for Arctic conditions. Undersea cables, the arteries of the digital world, are being mapped, monitored, and quietly protected. This is an arms race without parades or speeches. An invisible competition unfolding in freezing silence. Beneath the ice, the stakes go even deeper. The Arctic is believed to hold vast reserves of oil, natural gas, and critical minerals. Resources that could fuel economies for decades. As traditional energy supplies become more politicized and contested, Access to these reserves takes on enormous strategic value. Control over the Arctic is not just about ships and soldiers. It is about who shapes the energy and economic future of the world. All of this is forcing old alliances to adapt. For decades, global security planning revolved around familiar theaters. Europe, the Middle East, the Pacific. The Arctic barely registered. Now it demands attention at the highest levels. Defense doctrines are being rewritten. Budgets are being adjusted. Long-standing assumptions about geography are being discarded. Climate change, often discussed as an environmental crisis, is acting here as a strategic accelerator. It is compressing timelines, forcing decisions that might otherwise have taken generations. The ice is melting faster than diplomacy can keep up, faster than legal frameworks can be agreed upon, faster than trust can be rebuilt. There was a time when the Arctic symbolized cooperation, scientific research, shared environmental stewardship, dialogue across borders. That spirit has not entirely vanished, but it is under strain. Questions that once seemed theoretical are now urgent. Are certain passages national waters or international straits? Who has the right to regulate transit? Who responds when something goes wrong? And what happens when economic competition collides with military reality? As the ice continues to retreat, the illusion of distance collapses. What happens in the Arctic no longer stays in the Arctic. It affects supply chains, energy markets, alliance structures, and global security calculations. The top of the world is no longer the edge of the map. It is moving to the center. The Arctic was once the planet's great silence. Frozen, remote, untouchable. Today that silence is breaking. In its place comes the hum of engines, the ping of sonar, the quiet tension of strategic positioning. We are not yet witnessing open conflict, but we are watching the board being set. And as the ice melts away, one question grows impossible to ignore. Will this new frontier become a model of cooperation in a warming world, or the next arena where great powers test each other's limits? The answer is forming right now, in the cold waters at the top of the Earth.